So it looks like the conversation over whether or not superhero stories should be grim and gritty is back in the public consciousness. I wonder why. Now, speaking for myself, I can personally say that just because I might find a particular movie to be too grim and dark, or a particular comic book run to be too grim and dark, that doesn't necessarily mean I don't like the occasional dark superhero story every now and then. The Dark Knight is my favorite comic book movie, and that's certainly not a cheery tale. And one of the best comics of the last 10 years is one of the bleakest, darkest superhero tales I've ever read. Rick Remender and Jerome Opeña's Uncanny X-Force. X-Force was created back in 1991 and was essentially Rob Liefeld presents the X-Men. Nothing wrong with that. It had a few revamps over the years, with the 2007 one being particularly interesting. X-Force became a black ops group created by Cyclops and led by Wolverine to carry out secret missions that the public couldn't know about. Now, Remender and Opeña's Uncanny X-Force debuted in 2010 and continued this tradition, but with a couple of new twists. For one thing, Cyclops disbanded X-Force, but Wolverine and Angel decided to keep it going to carry out more dangerous and more morally questionable missions with new teammates Psylocke, Deadpool, and Phantom X. And the first story arc in this series, The Apocalypse Solution, really sets the tone for just what this series is about and how dark it can be. The team's mission is to travel to the moon and kill the newly reincarnated Apocalypse. And this isn't going to be an easy task, especially with the new Four Horsemen putting the team through some of the most graphic and hard to look at artwork ever put in a superhero comic. Also, the new Apocalypse they're sent to kill is a child. Let that sink in for a minute. And that's just the first 4 issues. To be honest, I'm only 18 issues in, but if the series ended there, I'd be more than satisfied with saying this is one of the best series of the last 10 years. I really would. Uncanny X-Force is one of the best examples of how to do a dark and serious superhero story right. It's not dark for the sake of being dark or shocking. There's a lot of heavy topics in this series that Remender is trying to discuss. What does it mean to take a life? How far are you willing to go for your mission? Does love conquer all, or is that just a myth? What do you believe in? Are you willing to trust someone who's theoretically able to kill for you if necessary? And through it all, Remender doesn't forget to add a little humor to the book. This is some of the best black comedy in comics, and surprisingly enough, it doesn't all come from Deadpool. A lot of it comes from Phantom X. Although there is one scene early on where Deadpool is trying to save Angel's life, and I won't spoil it for you here, but trust me, it is one of the funniest and disgusting things I've ever read in mainstream superhero comics. Like I said, I'm only 18 issues in, and the series ran for about 35 before it got relaunched with a new creative team. But even if everything past issue 19 was subpar, I'd still highly recommend this run. You just don't see stories like this in superhero comics that often. Something that's dark and serious, but also makes the characters human and relatable. Most of the time when people do dark and grim superhero comics, they're just doing that, making the characters dark and grim without making them relatable or even having anything important to say on the subject. But Uncanny X-Force is all that and more. It's a dark and serious story that doesn't forget it's a superhero tale and can find time for interdimensional travel and mutants. And it all fits perfectly. So go out and read this book if you haven't. It's on Amazon, it's on Comixology. It's usually on sale on Comixology, so look out for that. And I believe there is a 1-volume edition of Uncanny X-Force by Rick Remender and Jerome Opeña. That's one book for all 35 volumes. It's huge, but hey, it's an option. I would recommend it. Let me know down below or anywhere on the internet what you think of this version of Uncanny X-Force. Did you like it? Do you prefer the other versions of X-Force? What are some examples that you've seen of grim and gritty superheroes done right? Again, let me know down below or anywhere on the internet. If you're watching this on April 6th, then don't forget tonight is Wulff Den Live at 9 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow will be the archive version and the audio format on iTunes. And as always, like this video, share it with a friend, get them to subscribe. We're almost at 10,000, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Now, as the comic book industry grew, more and more writers and artists tried to skewer their work to an older crowd. Probably thinking that the people who read Superman comics as a kid probably now want to see a more mature story told now that they're much older. I honestly don't know if this is a good idea or not. While the Joker had a real name in Batman '89, Jack Napier, and while his origin has been explored in things like The Killing Joke and Batman Confidential, his past has always remained a true mystery.